Welcome back to Breakfast Television. We take for granted here simply going out for a run, but in Afghanistan, a woman could have obscenities hurled at her and so much more. But a group of marathoners are trying to change that, and Martin Parnell is one of them. He's here now to tell us about The Secret Marathon, his new book. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you.
It's so good. I had a chance
exciting.
to read some really cool passages, which we'll get to in a minute.
Sure.
But you're just back from Afghanistan.
Yeah,
you just ran another marathon there.
Yeah, I just got back 2 weeks ago, and it was the 4th marathon in Afghanistan, and it was my second over there. So just great to go back, and more Afghan women and girls are running that marathon. So it's great to see the numbers growing.
Yes, absolutely. So back us up here. So where did this all start, and how did the book get started?
Yeah, well, I was recovering back in 2015 from a major medical issue. I had a clot on the brain.
Yikes.
And I was basically sidelined for 3 months. I couldn't do anything. I had double vision. And I was at home in Cochrane, and I was feeling pretty low. I started walking. My wife, Sue, helped me. We went walking, slowly getting a little bit better. But then in October 2015, she showed me an article from the Guardian newspaper about the very first Afghan woman to run a marathon. Her name was Zainab. And, you know, when I read the article, I kind of thought, first of all, wow, the first Afghan woman, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't happened before. But then I read about the challenges she faced when she trained. And for us runners, it's hydration, nutrition, maybe the weather. For her, it was verbal and physical abuse as she ran in the streets of Kabul. So they would call her a prostitute, and mainly men, you know, get off the streets, throw rocks at her to stop her running. So she went home and she ran inside her walled garden for hours on end to train.
Wow.
She would not stop, and she ran in October 2015, the very first Afghan woman to run a marathon. So when I saw that, to be honest, I got a bit mad. Like, I thought, this is so unfair.
Yes.
That, you know, girls and women are being picked, not men, but girls and women are being picked on to stop running. And, you know, running to me is such a basic thing. And so it was like, and I think my wife was a bit shocked when I said, Sue, if I get better and if I run again, and if I run a marathon again, I'm going to go over to support Zainab and the women and the girls. And a year later, I was on a plane to Kabul.
Look at you go.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
she was pretty surprised.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of tears, a lot of talking, but
I'm sure.
But it all worked out. Yeah.
Right, and you went over. So now, this book really outlines this journey that you've done and all these girls have done over there. And there is one section that just really struck me, and it was written by, and you said you had to change her name, but in the book she's called Bahistan. She's just 16.
16 years old.
And she rocks about how she just had to be first. She was trying to do whatever she could just to be first. And, you know, I have a young athlete in my house, and she has the same thinking. And for some reason, it just really resonated with me. But is that what you were trying to do when you were writing this book, is to get people to connect with these women and why it's so important for them to keep running?
Well, absolutely. I felt the best way of putting the story together was actually to get the Afghan women and girls to write their own sections.
Yes.
You know, I can't talk about what they experienced. So I asked them if they would, and 6 of them said yes. So I received 2 sections in English, they wrote it in English, which was fantastic.
Yes.
I had to Skype with 2 of them in Kabul, and then I transcribed, so that was interesting.
I'm sure.
Having to Skype to Kabul. But 2 of them, and you mentioned Bahista and Zahar, they sent me their sections in Dari.
Wow.
So they wrote their sections, sent it to me, and then I got it translated through a friend of mine, Gitty. Wow. And it's so raw. I mean, you've touched on one thing there, and their dreams and their hopes, and what they're just trying to run. I mean, that's right. They're just trying to run in a country that, you know, really does not accept that.
Right. But it's almost more than that, isn't it? It's not just about the running. There's something empowering for them, isn't it, when they run?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's freedom.
Yes.
It's freedom. You know, I think there's a quote in the book that says, what's the difference between, you know, men and women in Afghanistan, and, you know, why they run? And the answer is freedom.
Freedom.
They get that. They can actually control something. You know, they have support in some cases from the mothers. And what's very important is the fathers who do support these girls and women. And so there's something going on there where they're stepping out and they're willing to take that chance. And
it is a risk,
It's a huge risk.
It's a huge risk.
You know, again, in the book, there's examples where 2 women were running and they were almost kidnapped.
Yeah.
A car came along and stopped. Another woman, Kubra, who is one of the main you know, characters, and I ran with Kubra in the race in the marathon. She said that she would train, and her friend, she would wear knuckle dusters.
Wow.
And her friend had pepper spray. I mean, you know, they're not messing around.
They're not messing around. This is serious.
The women
Yeah.
are going to do what they need to do, the women and girls there, and it's so empowering. It's so inspiring for me.
So
and
inspiring for all of us.
For all of us,
absolutely.
I think.
Martin, thank you so much for writing this book. Let's get everybody out to go see you. You've got a book signing, Crowfoot Indigo Chapters, Sunday, November 18th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Brilliant.
Martin, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all the work you're doing there.
Thanks,
it's
Leah.
terrific.
That's great.
We're going to go for a break here on Breakfast Television. When we come back, news, weather, and traffic. Stay with us.